today's video, we're gonna make an ambient chill track from start to finish. Y'all ready? Let's do this. When I first started this channel, one of my main goals was to develop a platform, one that you guys, as ambient music producers, could improve your production skills just by watching me work by example. After the first full track walkthrough that we did, it became quite apparent based on the positive response that this was a good idea. So once again, I am back with another ambient chill full walkthrough for you guys. We got a whole roadmap laid out. We're gonna go over ambient production techniques. We're gonna go over design aesthetic, the whole thing from start to finish. So if you guys like this kind of thing, make sure you smash that like button on the way in and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you feel called to do so. That being said, are you guys ready? Full ambient chill walkthrough. Let's do this. All right, here we are in Ableton Live 11. Now, I made a promise the first time we did these full track walkthroughs that I was gonna make this a regular thing. And I'm sticking to that promise. There's a lot of really positive energy surrounding the channel right now. And I want to utilize this platform to help you guys further your ambient music in any way that I possibly can. And one of those ways is just having long form videos where I'm just working and you guys are following along and I'm explaining what I'm doing as we go along, okay? So this is gonna be a full track walkthrough. Now I've sort of mapped out what I wanna talk about today. So let's go over that real quick. So we're gonna do a full track walkthrough. We're gonna talk about the rhythm and the timing of the track, like the flow of the track is really important. I think we should probably talk about that. The call and response of all the elements in the music, meaning like, in jazz music, they call it call and response. Like one element plays, the other element responds to it. And then it's just sort of this interplay. Really good ambient chill music has that quality interplay between elements where you can move back and forth. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the overall aesthetic and vibe. That's something we always talk about at the labels. Does this track have that aesthetic, right? And a lot of the submissions that we get to Synphaera and Exosphere, sometimes they don't match up, sometimes they do. So aesthetic of your track is super important. And then obviously the intent and emotion behind it, okay? Like what are your intentions with the track and how much is that coming through the end product, all right? So then we're gonna talk about techniques, obviously the tools that I'm using, and then the quality of the sources and the samples equals the quality of your music, meaning the better hardware, the better software that you're gonna use is gonna probably elevate the quality. Now you can make really good music with bad software. I mean, it's possible, but obviously the more quality that your patches are, the more quality that you're doing in your sound design, that's gonna equal more quality in your music, all right? We're also gonna talk about sequencers versus drawing by hand. I get a lot of people asking me like, what's the best sequencer to use? You guys see me use Riffer and Stokas all the time. And lately the Euclidean Sequencer Pro, but it's like, how much of those things actually helping reach your goal versus actually drawing them by hand? We can talk about that. And then obviously understanding the basic fundamentals of music theory. And finally, reaching your goals, okay? So pushing yourself the extra mile with the track. This is something I really struggle with at the beginning, and then focusing on the details. And you know, it is Virgo season. We want to get down to the nitty gritty of each of the tracks, and then developing your own style. Obviously, that's important. And then branding yourself for the future. So that's what we're gonna try to achieve. We might not hit all the points, but hopefully we can get, you know, most of the way there, all right? Now, when I start a track, a full track walkthrough, or at least just a full track by myself, one of the things I like to do, I wanna give a shout out to my boy Echo Season. Now, this channel is growing so rapidly that I don't really know how many of you guys are aware of what I do or anything like that. I'm just kind of like putting myself out there, and hopefully you guys are like picking up what's going on along the way. So this is an album on our label. It's called Solar Metric by my boy Echo Season. All right, and Peter is someone who I discovered about 5-6 years ago through Ambient Online. He submitted to Ambient Online, and I was so taken back by what he submitted that I'm like, dude, listen, if you just do a couple different things, you could totally release on our label one day. 9 months later, he released his first album, and the rest is history. And his music is something that I hold very near and dear to my heart. Now, I'm not gonna play it for you because I would be copywriting myself on this channel, but At the same time, if you guys haven't heard this album or haven't heard Echo Season in general, I highly recommend that you guys go check it out. This would be something that I would listen to get myself in the mood, all right? So I would just turn on Solar Metric and just kind of like get myself in the vibe. And I think that's really important, whether your favorite artist is Solar Fields or AES Dana or Echo Season or Ascendant or whoever. I mean, you know, I'm kind of plugging myself here because this is our label, but at the same time, it makes sense if you have a goal in mind or you have a certain style in mind to go ahead and listen to that. Because some of the things that I love about Peter's music is the quality of the arrangements and the sound design combined really create this otherworldly, visceral experience where every single nanosecond of this album, like you could literally you're bouncing in between this world and you are immersed 100% in Peter's world. So absolutely 100% highly recommend this album. It is on Synphaera. So go check it out and listen to some good music to get yourselves in the mood, all right? So that's the most important thing at the beginning. At least for me, that's what I do, all right? Now we're gonna talk about laying down an atmosphere. So I don't know if you guys are also aware of this, but I do these ambient transmissions. And I put out one yesterday. Ambient Transmission 5 was released yesterday. And these are free packs that I'm putting out on my Gumroad for the Vital community. So I put out these ambient transmissions to kind of get you guys in the mood, right? So a lot of them, there's a lot of pads in there, some sequences, and just to show people who are like trying to struggling with their own music or struggling to make patches for themselves. Like this is how I do it. And then you guys can just kind of follow along. Now I made this patch a couple days ago. It's called Divine Timing. But this would be the kind of thing that I would start with. I'd be like, all right, well, here we go, right? My push 2 is set in G minor, okay? So we're working in G minor today. And I'm just sort of like doing a slow interplay between the pad itself, because there is that really strong noise that comes in, and that's done through envelope 2. I have like just something with an attack and decay, very little sustain. And so the noise comes in, whoosh. And then over here, you can see I have a macro that says filter, all right? And if you turn this up, it's gonna pull the filter back. And so what you can do is kind of find somewhere in between here, maybe around 60% with this macro, that might be a sweet spot. All right. That's a nice patch. All right, so I'm gonna lower down the gain here a little bit, and let's go ahead and lay down some notes. All right, so we're working with G minor here. We're gonna put the minor scale up. I'm gonna change the color to blue. There we go. All right, we're gonna make this about 32 bars long, and let's get it. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off the fixed grid and make this the narrowest possible. There we go. All right, and then of course, I'm going to hit the headphone button, hit the right arrow key, and start laying down some notes. Damn, that was fast. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is sort of edit myself and say, oh, okay, well, wait a minute. That takes a little too long. And you can pull up some of the velocities here, take them down, and we can just go ahead and hit play on this while I do this. And again, this is just to lay down an atmosphere. Not really concerned about timing here as much as I am just kind of getting myself going. You can also add a couple more notes in here if I want to go ahead and just paint something in. Well, that wasn't the right way. This fixed grid stuff. By the way, if you hold down on Ableton, like you draw on a note and then you move your mouse up and down, it changes the velocity while you're still holding the mouse button. That's more like something like, did you know that? Like, kind of a cool trick. Now this is starting to sound good to me. Like, I like this. It's a little swirly, but you can also pull that filter knob up a little bit. And I think the swirling is coming from this random thing. So what you can do is just slow it down. There we go. Yeah, it was that stereo split filter that was causing all that swirling. That sounds much better. All right. Now this brings me to my first point about the quality of sound. So let's go back to our syllabus. You have the quality of the sources and the samples equals the quality of your music, all right? So what I wanna do is I wanna illustrate that by showing you this patch on the effect level. So it has a chorus, it has delay, it has EQ, phaser, and reverb. That's a lot of effects right off the bat, right? However, something that my partner Don and I have been talking about lately is that the quality of your samples or your actual sound designs should stand on its own without effects. And this is something that, honestly, I'm just being totally honest here, I struggle with doing this because I rely so heavily on delay and reverb that, you know, I'm really working towards this ideal. And I think, you know, you guys can too if you take this seriously. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna turn off all the effects and we're gonna listen to what it sounds like without a reverb, without a phaser, without delay, and without chorus, okay? So that's what it sounds like without those things. And you ask yourself, does it sound good to me? If the answer is yes, cool. There's a lot of things that I could do to make this sound a little better. You might add a little bit of like an LFO on the pitch, on the fine tuning of the pitch. So we could do that. You could add some panning, some subtle panning going on in the oscillators, right? How did that get set? I thought it was 2 to 1. There you go. All right. So there are things that I could do. And now for the simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna go back to where we were so we can kind of keep on moving. But that's something that I think you guys should take into consideration. Does your sound design sound good with stripped basically bare, right? How does that sound? Anyway, so this is just what we're laying down for atmosphere. I'm gonna put a bunch of reverb on it to kind of mask it over. Again, not final results, but for the sake of just moving on, now we've got our atmosphere, okay? I'm just gonna name that Divine Timing, okay? And now we're gonna move on. Now let's invoke the bass, all right? Let's invoke the bass. It probably is. All right, so here we go. And then with this, I'm gonna pull up Omnisphere. And we're gonna do like a virtual analog thing, all right? So with Omnisphere, I'm going to put down, let's just use one of these triangle, the classic waveforms, the sawtooth. We'll use something like this. That's nice, all right? And we will obviously pitch it down whole octave. And let's listen to what this sounds like. Very good, and we'll put a filter on that. A juicy filter, like a nice juicy low pass. Ooh, that sounds nice. I like it. And ooh, yeah. Yeah, you know I love me my bass. Oops. Yeah. Turn down the filter knob here. That sounded really good already. I want to give a shout out to my friend. His name is Lauga. If you guys haven't listened to his music, L-A-U-G-E. Yeah. He is like the master of like low end with ambient. Okay. And I just want to give a shout out to him because when I listen to his music, he to me, is someone who just provides like that perfect balance between atmosphere and then really that low end presence. Yeah, so his music, he does like a duo with his friend Baba Gnome, so Lauga and Baba Gnome. But Lauga's solo stuff is absolutely stunning. Go check it out. Donna. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah. So like you could either do like a sustain bass, but I think like we're gonna do a chill track. So I'm just gonna lay down a solid note here, and then we're gonna change the bass line later on. We're gonna get into something like that. Something cool. All right, I'm down. We're just gonna set that. We're gonna set that down here to kind of give us a way to like start. Set this to the bass bus. There we go. Pull up another instance of Vital. Make it a little smaller. All right. Now, one of these plucks that I put out yesterday might work here. Influence, precision, or transit. Okay? That's it. That's the one I want. So, you hear that little subtle hint of like white noise. There's also that little hint of vibrato here where I delayed the LFO. So when the decay is happening, the LFO is gonna trigger it. That's really nice. Now watch this. So it's like twinkling, like you get that real atmospheric. Nice. And that to me opens up a whole sense of, yeah, you hear that? See, now we're hitting on all levels there. A little too much reverb, but you know, I bet I could pull on the filter here. Add even more. Stuff it in there. Nice. Maybe a little less filter. I'm overdoing it, but you know what I mean? I'm overdoing it because I'm having fun. You can also put an arpeggiator behind this. Let's put an arpeggiator there. So let's talk about this. Sequenced versus arpeggiated, right? You could either draw this in, and so I could say length 4 times, or we could do it cool. All right, so you could either draw this in, or we could do like a sequence here. But I think right here, we could draw that in, okay? That's cool. Nice, 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 nice. There we go. I got lucky there. Nice, nice, nice. There we go. And at this point, I might bring in another pad. Let's actually bring in Serum here. What I like about this patch from Ancient Technology is that it kind of blooms out. Like you hear it, it's sort of becoming, right? I like that. Very nice. So I can lay this down and I can say, all right, cool. We'll do something here and we'll make this about 16 bars or so. Okay. I'm going to turn off the fixed grid once again. All right. So you can go faster or slower based on the fixed grid's timing. So what I did was I selected narrowest and then off. And if I selected, interesting, wow. Oh, Ableton, you funny. All right, here we go. So, all right, so now I got something going here. I like that. Happy with that. One more note there. One more change. Bring this one back in. There we go. That works for me. All right, so now we got something seriously going here. Now we are still in session view, all right? For you Ableton users out there, we're still in session view. So let's go ahead and label our tracks and then we can start to shift over to arrangement, okay? So we're gonna call this transit. We're gonna call this just our bass, Omni bass. And this was Distant Shores. All right, so what are you guys hearing at this point, right? We got a lot of good things going for us, but I think it's time for us to like pick a direction and go, okay? So I'm gonna put divine timing here. I'm gonna switch back over to arrangement, okay? And we're gonna lay this down and hopefully, yep, this is a loop, all right? And what we can do here is extend the loop marker out to like 250 and then move this back. And now we have a nice 10-minute long healthy timeline here. And then we're gonna go back and hit the Omni bass and we can lay the Omni bass in probably around right here. So it goes to about there, all right? And we can fade that in, whatever we want. And then we're going to hit transit here and that's gonna come in around the same time. This is not something that I'm married to, but hey, all right, so then this is gonna be right here. So now we just did a quick bang up arrangement of what we were doing. So now we kind of have like a roadmap. Okay, so where are we gonna go from here? Let's just focus on our loop. I like it. We got room to grow here. Now there needs to be some other element. So let's go back to our syllabus and we're gonna talk about this. So we're using the tools that we're using Serum, Omnisphere, Vital. Okay, I could invoke the Hydra here, that might work. There might be something in the hider that we can pull out. However, I think we're probably going to stick to software for these full track walkthroughs just for the sake of simplicity. And also because we don't want to end up having to freeze the track or whatever. So it doesn't really matter. But otherwise, you pick your hardware, pick your software, okay? And we already had to talk about the quality of the sources in the sound design equals the quality of your music, all right? We did some drawing by hand and we were working in G minor. So we're like, you know, working along a framework that helps us. Now, back to the start of it, the rhythm and the timing, okay? So like right now we're just setting a mood. The overall aesthetic and vibe is sort of like in motion. And we're like, okay, something is emerging here. And it doesn't need to repeat. We can change the notes here. So let's go into this, and then we'll say duplicate. So we're gonna duplicate this, and then we're exclusively gonna work on this one. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun, dun, dun. So you can kind of make up your own melodies. There's a video on my channel called Generating Melodies. Ding. I'm hearing that up back here. There we go. Nice, 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 right? So you can kind of interplay with it, play around, okay? So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that twice. And then the second time, and then we can fall off a cliff here, right? Like we can just let it kind of go, and then we'll start bang, like right off the bat. So we'll let this fall off right here. And we'll bring this back. I love it. Boom, and then it'll come in like this. So let's, here's our tempo, right? Bang, right there. All right, so what bar is that? 43. All right, so 43, at 43, we are going to come in with some fire, all right? So let's hit a bass right underneath our original bass, and we will get going. So we'll also add another track for like a kick, and we'll bring that in, all right? So user library, boom, I'm gonna bring out one of my kicks here, okay? And we're gonna, it's like a bass drop, all right? Cool. So from there, we're gonna create a 4-bar loop right like this. And I'm gonna switch to quarter notes, and we're going to pick a kick, preferably one that's tuned to the track. If we could find one, that looks good to me. So we'll duplicate that multiple times, and it only needs to be 2 bars long, doesn't need to be crazy. There we go, like this. And then we will generate the same style thing, but we're gonna do a vital bass patch. So this track up here, we're gonna flip over to vital, and we're gonna pick a bass, all right? There might be something in anomaly that we can use. I'm thinking like, how about ignition sequence? Maybe. Deep Stone obviously is a favorite of mine. I want something with a little more. I think radar tuner is where we're at. Okay, so we're gonna go radar tuner, and then we're just gonna do an offset bass here. So pick the 1, all right. All right. And then we will go like this and make this 1/8 notes. obviously, and eighth notes it is. All right, and we're gonna lower the volume of this. We're gonna switch to the bass bus, and then we're just gonna make that 1 bar long like that and extend it out. And here's what this is gonna sound like. So we're gonna come back to the beginning. I'm just mouthing through something that would come in there. Cool. Now I'm gonna up the tempo a little bit here, kind of hit the gas, maybe 109. I'm gonna lower the cutoff of that filter. Nice. All right, cool. All right, and at this point right here, we're gonna zoom in. 47 is where we're gonna start that serious like push forward. And we're gonna go 47, and we're gonna light it up here. So let's pull in one of these cool vital patches. Maybe we can find a sequence. Maybe, just maybe, we might even have to break out maybe some Riffer or something like that. So let's see what periodic. No. How does that sound to the track? That sounds good. Okay, so, you know, those of you who are unfamiliar with with my sound design, I'm using a preset, but I made the preset. So it's kind of like, well, you can't really say you're just using presets if you already made it yourself. So just one of those things, you know, plan ahead. That's called proper planning. And if you guys are interested in how to make sequences like this, there is a video on my channel called Vital Sequences. You can check that out as well. All right, so here we go. We're gonna pull this over and light it up. Now that is a great start to something really cool. And then we're gonna bring in that pad element here. I really like this one. Nice. That's that serum pad. Very haunting. And I'm even feeling something else here. It's kind of like I want to bring back this without bringing back that. Because if we brought back this, check it out. If we brought back this, that's actually kind of cool. That might be cool in a sense where maybe we can even take the same patch. So what we can do is we can duplicate this track. Let's duplicate this and see if we can actually put something into Riffer that would make sense. All right, so we're gonna take this out. We're gonna delete the beginning of it. So now we have a separate instance of transit here. And while this happens, what bar is this? 53, we're gonna pull in Riffer 3. So I have just a blank instance of Riffer here, and I've gone over Riffer on this channel in the past, so no need to go over it again. G minor is what we're playing in, and I'm going to lock the density in place. We're gonna hit random, lock the density in place, lock the velocity, you know, roughly around here, and lock the duration, you know, same thing. Lock it up. And find a pitch. So let's go move this down to the G and turn up some root notes Root notes is on. Maybe 6 root notes. That sounds good. There we go. And yeah, let's see how this goes. So in from Riffer, and then switch to Riffer 64 and switch to in. Bingo. Now this might be a little too much, like too much all the time, but what we can do is you can actually change the duration and only hit some of these. So check it out. Pull out some of the duration in some of these. And that equals, so when you hit the duration to 0, it's like, then it equals, there's just no note there. So it doesn't play. So that sounds a lot better to me. Rather than all notes all the time, just 16, 16, 16. If you take out some of the notes, that sounds good to me. And then what you can do is there's these notes and steps up here on the top. Like you can say, well, here's how many notes or how many steps you want, and then you can set it. I like that. I'm into that right now. And then we can do a couple different patterns in Riffer. So here's a quick trick for you guys using Riffer or something like this. So we can do a couple different patterns. What we can do is just drag this out, okay? I'm gonna drag that pattern out of Riffer and lay it down. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to change this again, and that'll be that, right? But what we can do is we can actually lock the pitch in place and then open up the duration again and randomize it, okay? So we're gonna randomize it, and now we have a totally different set. We can just go like this and this and this. And now we have the same riff, but it's like, it's different durations. So check it out. Let's see how this works. I'm gonna, first of all, to hear the results, you gotta turn it off. And then watch this. So it's almost like it gave us the same riff, but different timing of the different notes, okay? So now we have something that's a little more variated. Right? Cool. And now what we can do is do another one. We can unlock the pitch and change it now and see how that sounds. All right. I'll switch the durations again to something that was very similar. And we'll keep on going like this. Boom, boom, boom. And let's keep on going here. And then you got to switch it back to Riffer. Open it up. Open it up, Riffer 64. And then we'll go from here. I like that. I like that. Okay, cool. We can drag that over. Drag and drop with Riffer is one of my favorite features. It had this RRG Pro 2. Was that it? Random riff generator? Yeah, I think that was it. So yeah, it had that in that. Okay, we'll do the same trick on Riffer. We're gonna do the same thing, and we're going to lock the pitch in place and then change the durations around by just loading it up like that. It's gonna be cool. Nice. And then I like this. This is fun. And then maybe we'll go back to the original one. Okay. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll go back to the original one, and we will set this back to no input, and then we'll be on our way. Okay. So we'll take that and we will drag it out and make a copy of it. There we go. And then we can just go ahead and hit Control J to join all those. And now you have a full-on randomized note sequence right here. All right. Looking pretty good. I don't know what's up with those small notes right there. Maybe I like one of the duration goes. I don't know. I can clean that up later. Doesn't matter. Keep on going. Boom. You can mess with the delay here. That sounded good to me. Now what I want to do is I want to introduce a really sweeping lead to kind of set ourselves up. All right. Okay, cool. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna introduce, let's get our loop marker set in place. Very good. And I'll bring Serum, my Swiss Army knife, Serum, the Army knife. And we will do this and set this on loop. And now I'll bring in my favorite, the Sky Bridge. We will remove all the modulators here. And there we go. It's important to have a synth that really cuts through the whole mix. And that's what Serum does for me. I mean, it's debatable, right? What synth sounds the best? Some people may want to debate me on this. I think Serum is one of the best sounding synths I've ever used, especially the quality of the oscillators and the filters themselves. In the software world, but I'm not here to debate, I'm here to educate. Nice. Nice. Excellent. So what my goal here is to sort of like, now that we've built this track up, like I'd like to break it down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna join all this. And we're gonna see how this sounds after this. All right. So this is a good spot. I like to do like some real higher intelligence stuff. I used to bring in these sequences in the old Signs of Life days where it was like next level. You know what I'm saying? Like totally crazy. And I want to do that again in a sense that you guys can kind of feel where those sequences come from. They come from like a higher understanding. Like I want to like get something really crazy. You can hear it all over my music where, and I'm not just talking about crazy, I'm talking about like, it takes the mind to a different place because it's almost like an assault on the intellect. You know what I mean? And what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of these simple plucks right here. And we're going to see if we can arrange that or sequence that with something that would be like, let's take, I don't know, we could take Euclidean Sequencer Pro, but let's see if we can use that. So let's go ahead, go to User Library, and this is the new Euclidean Sequencer Pro. Okay, I used this on the channel the other day. It's a really great Max for Live sequencer that just got updated to be even better than it was before. And I'm super stoked to have it around the studio. Anyway, so we're going to pick the key. We're just going to go G sharp. We're going to add a bunch of different notes here. So then the key of G sharp minor obviously is G, A, and then A sharp, right? So A sharp 3, and we'll even go like G4, And then let's see here. Then we'll even go like C sharp or D. Yeah, let's try that. All right, we'll add some events here, add some events. This is gonna get really crazy really quick. Watch this. This is gonna get wild, and I'm gonna rotate some of these. So here we go. Yeah, synth bus, turn it down. Oh my God. I didn't realize how perfect that would be right off the bat. So oh my God, that sounded so good. Wow. Wow. That's already sounding really good to me. Let's just figure out how we can make this like... Is that also G? Okay. There we go. Nice. Very nice. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Okay. Okay, that's enough to get us started, right? So what we can do is we can record that. And some of you mentioned like, oh, you can't record at 999 beats per minute. I do. So all I do is just go like this, and we're gonna go 999, and we're going to call this Rubicon, and then I'm going to set it to in, and then we're gonna set it to post effects, and hopefully this is gonna work. There we go. That should be enough right there. And now that we have the MIDI, now we can drag it back up here. We can turn off Euclidean sequencer, and now we have this MIDI running native inside of the track, and bring it back to 109. Okay, let's see here, 109. There we go. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add a couple more notes into this sequence, because we've got what we've got, and that's cool and all. But what we can do is sort of intelligently say, all right, well, this is all happening at the same time. And that's a cool pattern, right? But I could have done less of the G's, so. And then I could take some of these C's. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, okay, well, if too many are happening at one time, then I'm just gonna make it sort of like this randomized event. That's gorgeous. It sounds so good. I'm gonna do like 8 bars of this. And take out some of these B's here, right here. Cool. But I kind of like it that it's so dense. That's kind of cool to me. This is so much fun. I love this. All right. And you can just go forever. Like, you can just sit here and just kind of dork out and start changing these notes around. to your liking, okay? And like I said, you could do this by hand. Like this is all stuff that you could do just drawing in these guys, but the sequencers to me are more like inspirational cues. Like you can just say, okay, well, that's cool. Now we can have a 8-bar loop here that is pretty random by nature. Okay, I'm gonna say 0 and then 0 here. And now we have an 8-bar loop. I'm going to change this to 8 bars and that looks good to me. And now, just go ahead and delete the rest. Now I'm gonna say loop. Now we have an 8-bar loop. Yes, we do. Very good. Turn up some delay. I like that. And now we can bring in that bass from the beginning. Check it out. Watch. Where'd that bass go? Oh, we're soloed. There we go. Yes. Yes. All right. Now we're talking. I like where this is going now because this is like you've reached the halfway and now your mind is fully open. So let's go back to our syllabus. What is our overall goal? We're focusing on developing our own style, okay? You wanna like focus in on like, what is this music and what is your intention with it? What are your goals with this music? Do you want to get signed by a label? Do you want to just release your first album? Do you want to release something that's better than your last album? I mean, these kind of things is the kind of things that you should be thinking about while you're doing this. You know, a lot of talk these days is all about, oh, you need to brand yourself, blah, blah, blah. This music is a calling, but you can take that calling and you can make it something that is actually sustainable for you long term. It just has to be within your grasp to say, I'm gonna focus hard enough and push myself that extra mile to get there. And that's what I think your intention should be every time you sit down and you produce something. Because we are the music makers in society. We are the ones who are here producing this stuff and going to places in our minds and with these tools that the other senses can't explain. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like these moments that we have within this music, those cross over between the physical world, the spiritual world. It's us. We're doing this. And then we're gonna bring this back. We're gonna bring this track back. We're gonna come in with this pad again. Let me duplicate that. We're gonna bring this pad back. Okay. I really like where this is going. And I'm going to lengthen this out again, bring this all the way out, and then I'm gonna take this sequence with us into the future. So we're gonna pull it out like this, and eventually what's gonna happen is this kick drum's gonna come back, and everything's gonna hit again. And it's gonna be glorious. Yes. Because now you have the kick drum from earlier, you have everything hitting, and we're back in the mix. I love this. And now watch this. We'll bring this sequence back. Yes. 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 Oh my goodness. I love it. There's that sky bridge. And we still got this sequence down here. Oh, it's beautiful. Yes! That's what I'm talking about. You could add another part in here, like I'm hearing like, oh, we didn't even add the sign in there. There's all kinds of directions that you could go. I'm loving this. We'll just duplicate that. There we go. Hit that, bring it out a little bit. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna change it into the final bass line here. Sky Bridge. How do we loop that? I guess we can't. It's fine. Duplicate it again. Just to offset this. That's the kick. And the kick can keep going. Oh, that's the bass. Okay, wait, to freeze the kick. I get it. All right. And now what we can do is start programming some notes up here. Yeah. All right. There we go. All right, here we go. So, no, we got that. Okay, we got that. So I'm gonna program in one last little like bass run, and then we're gonna call it. All right, so we're gonna go like this, and I'm just gonna record on the fly. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. I don't know if that last one's gonna work. I was just messing around. I thought, you know what? Why not? Just go for it, right? No risk, no reward. So here we go. We're gonna put this down to 8th notes. There we go. Take that out. It's an 8-bar loop. And we're gonna go like this. There we go. Cool. Crop the clip. Quantize it. I'm liking that. Do that 4 times. And then even one more pad to sort of bring us home. All right, I'm gonna come over here to Anomaly and light this up. There we go. We're gonna do like one of those leads. Where's those leads? Neutron? Neutron got it for me? Yes. All right, here we go. So we're gonna. Nice. Oh yeah. I'm gonna lengthen the decay on this pad. There we go. just like that. And we're out. Sweet. All right, cool. Hopefully we got all that. There was nice. Our performance was captured by Ableton's capture, and there we go. And kind of clean this up. I'm not gonna quantize this. I'm just gonna leave it as is. But what I am gonna do is I'm going to lengthen out the, take down the sustain here a little bit, lengthen the attack. Yeah, adjust the envelope to kind of fit the vibe, right? Add some delay. There we go, space it out. That's sounding a lot better to me. And maybe I'll need one more of these. And because this is an audio track, because I had to freeze it, I can just kind of fade it out. Yep. And I can take out the kick here. Oh yeah. Nice ending there. All right, we're bringing this back down to landing. And as we do this, I just want to go over briefly again what we accomplished here today. All right, so the rhythm, the timing, okay? A lot of these elements came in, they came out. That was the call and response, the overall aesthetic and vibe, okay? The intent, the emotion behind it. Obviously, we hit that on all levels. The tools that we used, you guys saw what I was doing. The quality of the sources, we talked about that. Sequencers versus drawing by hand, we talked about that in the middle. And of course, the music theory we threw in there. Pushing yourself the extra mile, focusing on the details, developing your own style, and building a brand for the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this one. It was so much fun to make. I love doing this. I'm really happy and excited about the direction that this channel is going. So thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for watching, subscribing, liking this video. If you have any thoughts, please leave them in the comments down below. My name is Chris from Signs of Life. And I will see you all in the next one.